But next is the change that worries me, because it could ruin the game for even the most hardcore RE4 fans. I haven't talked about RE4 Remake in quite a while, mainly because I don't want to be one of those YouTubers who makes a 15-minute video for every BS rumor someone makes up. But today there's a lot of actual news to talk about, so let's get to it. This will all be coming from Game Informer's coverage on the game, since they were given quite a bit of time to play it recently. According to them, RE4 Remake will have 6 different control schemes, one of which is specifically made to feel much more like the original game's controls. I suspect that could mean that Classic scheme could feature tank controls, maybe won't have strafing, and potentially may even force you to stand still while shooting. But we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, it's pretty cool that they decided to make the effort at all. Another fairly big, but expected, change is the way Leon aims his weapons. By default, there's no lasers. The guns are all aimed with a targeting reticle like the last few RE games. But laser sights are an upgrade that you can purchase from the merchant, who, by the way, is supposedly a lot more chatty. He now offers many more side quests in the remake besides the original Blue Medallion one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he throws at us. The knife is also different from the original RE4. It does break after use like RE2 Remake, but not only can multiple knives be found and carried, but Leon's default knife can be repaired by the merchant. The way we battle enemy Ganados has also been radically changed. From what I gather from the article, now when you kill them, they don't just dissolve. After a bit of time, they'll start having seizures on the ground, and if you don't perform a ground execution on them in time, they'll stand back up with a broken neck and increased strength. A lot like the Crimson Heads from RE1 Remake. Except these bent-neck Ganados can also eventually expose their Plagas tentacles and ramp things up even more. That sounds great to me. Like they can actually beat out RE2 Remake zombies in terms of sheer intensity and relentlessness. But next is the change that worries me, because it could ruin the game for even the most hardcore RE4 fans by making the already disliked escort missions more difficult. Subscribe for more like this. You can still issue commands to Ashley to follow you, or follow you a little further behind. You can't order her to stand still or hide anywhere anymore, because as Capcom said during the gameplay demo, they feel like being able to hide Ashley defeats the purpose of having her in the game. So basically, she'll always be following you during gameplay. We're gonna have to wait and see how that goes, because it feels like it'll be a divisive change. Personally, I don't like the sound of it, but I'll reserve judgment. Also, while a lot of people called out the game's new stealth mechanic for seemingly copying Shinji Mikami's The Evil Within by letting Leon crouch and sneak attack enemies from behind, the similarities don't end there, as it turns out. Leon can now find the Bolt Thrower, a crossbow used mostly for stealth kills, though explosive bolts can be crafted too, much like the Agni crossbow from Evil Within. Personally, I'm neutral on this, and don't think it's good or bad, just want to try it out for myself before judging. Oh, and yeah, crafting has also been added to RE4 Remake, and functions the same as it did in the last few RE games, including letting you make ammo. It sounds like OG RE4's QuickTime events during cutscenes are also gone, which I'm very happy about. It sounds like some have been removed entirely, while others were reworked as scenarios you experienced during gameplay. Fine by me. We should also expect big changes to bosses. As in the article, Capcom said they mostly kept the essence of some, but drastically overhauled others. I'm very curious to see what they did here. We do know the roster of mini-bosses has been expanded. Joining Dr. Salvador is a new Hammer Bro with a bull's head covering his own, looking like a Minotaur. Supposedly there's additional surprises in this regard too. Sounds pretty good to me. Anything is better than just copy-pasting a Chainsaw Man throughout the whole game again. The puzzles will all be radically different from the sounds of it, as Capcom stated that none of them were recreated exactly. So lots of surprises there, I suppose. Not that the original game had that many puzzles to begin with. The attaché cases you buy from the merchant have also been revamped. You don't just upgrade the size anymore, but you can customize the look of the case, which also adds or changes a bonus to your gameplay. One example was an attaché case that increases the amount of ammo dropped by enemies. Little charms can also be attached to the case, which provide additional bonuses. This feature sounds goofy to me. I don't really like the idea of your inventory screen also making the game easier for you in all these different ways, but it sounds like it's optional at least. I'll give it a shot. And lastly, my personal favorite little nugget to glean from all this. Capcom said that there are many more files to find as compared to the original, with a ton more backstory being added, and even mentioned Salazar as an example of a character with majorly expanded lore. I love that. And that was probably my number one hope for this remake, aside from removing that damn robot statue. It could go down a bad route if the rumors of RE8's lore being tied into RE4's are true, but we'll cross that road when we get there, if we get there. Well, I think I've covered everything from the Game Informer article. If I missed anything, feel free to tell me in the comments below, and as always, be sure to tell me how you feel about all this. I'm baffled, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!